The SEC has said that it would consider issuing 4 proposals to overhaul the plumbing of the stock market. Yo, what is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, we have some stuff to go over. All I ask you to do in return for making this video is to hit that subscribe button. It is free, and we are almost at 8,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for the support. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So Dave Lauer covered what the SEC is going to be coming out with December 14th. Here we go. As expected, the SEC has given notice for an open meeting in a week, December 14th, with an aggressive agenda that will be the biggest overhaul of US market structure in 17 years. The first item on the agenda is a long overdue update to Rule 605, execution quality disclosures. I expect we will get updated, modernized metrics, something that he has been pushing for 10 years, along with the expansion of 605 to include internalization. The second item is focused on leveling the playing field between exchanges and off-exchange execution facilities and improving the NBBO, National Best Bid Best Offer. This will hopefully mean a 50 mil tick increment, half a penny, reduced access fees, and including more orders on the NBBO. We'll push for a more intelligent tick size approach, and we'll continue to push for elimination of the access fee cap, along with the elimination of payment for order flow and exchange rebates. Brokers should route orders based on execution quality, not the biggest kickback they can find. This will be the most controversial proposal and the one that will receive the most pushback. As rumored, the SEC is considering mandating exchange auctions to make retail trading more competitive. Again, this seems unnecessary to me. We should just have a trade at rule. We'll have to see the details before deciding how to respond. The blurb is interesting as it says wholesalers will still be able to internalize if they first expose the order to an auction. There will be all sort of problems with this approach, aka more loopholes, and he says trade at is simple and better. Finally, the SEC will consider a new best execution rule. Right now, best execution is overseen by FINRA for brokers and under anti-fraud provisions for investment advisors. Overall, this is a very exciting time to be involved in the market structure and to play a role in helping to shape these rules. Hashtag we the investors will put together material covering the details, and we will be leading a comment letter campaign. So guys, make sure to join We the Investors and go follow Dave Lauer. These rules are exciting to say the least. Let me know down in the comments if you think the SEC is going to actually make changes in retail's favor going forward. Before we get into the AMC numbers and AMC charts, let's cover a few things. So Nigeria is limiting ATM cash withdrawals to $45 per day to force the use of CBDCs. Bank of Russia wants to ban miners from selling crypto to Russians. China's central bank has added 32 tons of gold worth around 1.8 billion to its reserves. More staff cuts are coming as Morgan Stanley cuts 2% of global workforce as deal making slows. And Bank of Canada just hiked rates by 0.5 basis points, even though they were expecting a 0.75 basis point rate hike. This can show that the Fed meeting that we are going to get on the 14th could cause the overall S&P 500 to have a nasty rally if we do get these 0.5 basis points like Canada. Moving on, FTX apparently was in talks to sign a $100 million sponsorship deal with Taylor Swift weeks before the exchange went bankrupt. I'm gonna just take, a bet and say that's not on the table anymore. And the world's poorest countries are expected to pay 35% more in debt interest bills this year. This is not good. This is fucked up. World's Bank chief economist said about 60% of the poorest countries are already at high risk of debt distress or already in distress. Finally, Putin says the threat of nuclear war is increasing around the world. Definitely not a good sign. And GameStop is reporting earnings tonight. Guys, I put up this video. I'll pop it on the screen. Really, I recommend you to go watch this before earnings comes out. I already gave a full update on what I think is going to happen when GameStop earnings hits. Now let's get into some AMC numbers and the AMC charts. So a quick Ortex update. The estimated short interest of free flow is 20.05% with a 29% cost to borrow. Average cost to borrow 26 and the max is at 30. As for APE, a 7.5% short interest, so that decreased as well with a 7% cost to borrow, and the average and max staying together on APE. As for AMC on Stonko Tracker, the fee is continuing to drop, which is something that we definitely don't want to see. In the video I posted yesterday, we showed another token tokenized stock website on AMC that was just created to drop AMC's price after we had that halt, and you could see all the sales were sells on there. And ultimately going forward, it's just something that is extremely fucked up. And guys, I won't be on for earnings tonight. I actually have some stuff to do, and that is why this video is going to be coming out a little bit earlier than usual. I really wish I could stream earnings. I will be watching, and I will be posting at least YouTube shorts or posts on YouTube and Twitter, so make sure to have post notifications on for that. The S&P 500 is holding this level right down here, and all I can say for the S&P 500 is that we're playing a waiting game for the next week or so until we have CPI on the 13th and interest rates on the 14th. So that is essentially what's happening with the S&P 500. I think we are just in a waiting game up until then. Touching on AMC real quick, I said that we would come down into this zone and have a little bit of chop trading for a few days, maybe even up until the meeting, before getting a move hopefully higher, a move hopefully to the upside. However, we did break below this zone today, and we're trading around $6.50. I just wanted to come out and let you guys know that this is a heavy demand zone for the stock. When it entered this zone back here, 2 times, it immediately ripped back up, and this was essentially the longest time it traded in this zone, from about October 10th to around November 10th, that 1 month time frame. So I don't think AMC stock is going to stay in this level. If anything, I think this is a buying opportunity for AMC. I don't give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but ultimately this is something I am looking at. However, we do know that supply and demand don't actually work with AMC. We saw it in the tokenized stock that we literally just saw. They are adding excess supply to ultimately bring down the demand of AMC stock. Guys, since earnings is tonight, I wanted to touch on GameStop real quick and kind of just show you what I'm looking at. So if you take the bars pattern from the last earnings date to the earnings following it and then slide it over to where we are now, you will see that the cycle is playing out identical, except some parts of course being inverse, like right here when it valleyed and the cycle would have peaked. However, the same thing is tracking right here. You saw a peak, and then a huge valley before following a rip in the stock, and ultimately right now we're down at this bottom, and it shows that you are going to see a little bit of a rip come earnings. So anybody playing calls, congrats to you. I am personally bullish on GameStop going forward tonight, and ultimately it should be an exciting night to say the least. This is essentially what I'm expecting. I don't know how big of a gain, but I do expect GameStop to go green upon earnings. Also, just a quick touch on the numbers: 350,000 shares available to borrow with a 58% free float DRS, which is weird that it came down from 60%. An extremely low cost to borrow fee sitting at 7.5%, and 66,000 people are playing calls on this right now, except all of the puts are in the money compared to the calls. So there is a little bit of room for your calls to actually go in the money, even for market makers. Ultimately, we'll see what happens with GameStop going forward come tonight. Overall, guys, this is what I got for you for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, found value out of the video, and can consider hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button as well. This is going to be right below the video, and if you actually press this link, Moomoo is having a crazy sponsor where you can get up to 23 stocks and a chance to win $60,000 before Christmas time. So this is a limited deal. Make sure to just sign up and open an account using my link. All you have to do after that is deposit any amount. It can literally be a penny out of your bank account. Your money in Moomoo is FDIC insured, so it's not going to go to thin air like all of these platforms who are going bankrupt. Also, it's just a crazy good platform to use. So if you guys want that, the link will be pinned in the top of comments and linked in the description down below. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.